Hey everyone, Craig Gordon, Vice President of Prevail, and I'm joined once again with our president, Andrew Stafford.
Good to be here, Craig.
Andrew, always great to have you here, and I really enjoyed this conversation, discussion today as it relates to some of the tactical aspects
Yep.
of what's going on in the market. Now, this morning, ADP came out with some numbers. We've got Bureau of Labor Statistics, kind of some numbers. Why are folks focusing on this? You know, it's a talking point right now in the news and some of the financial networks and things of that nature. Why is that important?
Yeah.
And why is this number going to be driving, a variety of factors that we're
So, from a
turning?
tactical standpoint, labor is a major driver of the economy
Yeah.
for three main areas. But let's first start with today. The ADP report came out.
Yep.
It beat expectations. Now, we'll get another report that could be different.
It's
but
Friday, I
again,
believe, right?
Yep.
Yep.
It came out, it beat expectations, 60 plus thousand jobs. And here's what I think is important, Craig: private sector jobs. Right. We've had very large labor reports in the past, and a lot of that was government hiring. And so private sector jobs is really where we
Health.
want it's health of the economy. So that is good. Now we came off a really bad February.
Yeah, we did.
Right. So there's some room to work. Here's where we're at, I think, from an economic standpoint with the labor market. For those that are getting laid off, and there are some layoffs happening,
Mhm.
it's terrible. And we feel for those families. But we're in essence in a low hire, low fire environment right now. Okay. Market isn't too hot and it's not too soft. And what that basically means for businesses is wage growth, while still good, it's outpacing inflation. We're not having that, call it 24-month
Yeah.
ago period where every time you went to rehire someone, you had to pay 10, 15,
That's right.
20%
Just
more. And
constantly going
businesses can't
No,
sustain
the
that.
margin compression. Yeah, you just can't do
The
it.
margin compression
Yes,
it's too much. So let's talk for the viewers about how labor impacts the markets. First of all, it really has an impact on the forward-looking Fed policy,
Which is key.
the expectations. So the Fed has two mandates, right? Labor
Yep.
and the economy, unemployment, as well as inflation.
That's right.
Those are the two that they're supposed to be monitoring. So labor statistics, unemployment, it's hovering around, call it 4.4%, somewhere in
Yep.
that range. It could be up or down from there. It
Which
has
is a healthy range. That's an
it's,
okay
it's
range.
very, very,
Yeah,
healthy.
very
I
healthy.
mean, there's times when you'd look at it and say
Yeah.
unemployment's at 4.4%,
Great.
you'd be like, that's a great economy. But it doesn't feel good if you're one of the 4.4%, right? So the issue with it is it impacts the forward-looking guidance of the Fed. The second thing, and this is really impactful, is consumer spending. So
Yep.
consumer spending, when you look at GDP growth, it is a vast majority of our GDP growth.
Right.
And when people are getting laid off or high unemployment, consumer spending goes down.
Absolutely.
The
Earnings go
third,
down,
when
everything.
you think
Yep.
about consumer spending, what does that lead to? That leads to earnings
Yep.
quality within the market. And so if we don't have great consumer spending, earnings quality goes down for a vast majority of the market. So three key areas that we look at. Number one, Fed expectations. Number two, consumer spending, which then leads to earnings.
Yes.
All three of those impact that.
All
Now,
connected.
what's been amazing about this is as much as people feel a little off or uneasy about how things are going,
Yeah.
consumer spending has stayed relative strong. It's not crazy like it was coming out of
Yeah.
COVID where you couldn't get a Peloton for 6 months. But I mean, it's still healthy from a general market environment. We're not in recessionary territory and we're not in overheating territory. We're kind of not too hot, not too cold, just right.
Right.
And so I think as long as things stay like this, there's always money to be made in markets.
Yeah. Again, and I think this is a time where being really thoughtful, paying attention to the data, but control what you can control. How are you diversifying your portfolio? What are you doing? Looking at the various sectors that may have some opportunity.
Yeah, 100%.
And working, of course, with a professional, I think, too, to help guide
100%.
you with that. If you'd like to learn more, check us out at prevailiws.com.